I sat cross-legged on my parents' cold hardwood floor in Portland, watching the cinnamon-scented air swirl around torn wrapping paper while Chloe spun a set of BMW keys like a teenager. At 32, she shrieked and bounced with the same unfiltered excitement she'd had her whole life, while Mom and Dad watched her with glowing admiration. A brand new white BMW sat outside under a giant red bow, practically a monument to their devotion. Meanwhile, I stared down at the tiny ceramic piggy bank resting in my lap, the kind meant for toddlers. The $2.99 price sticker was still attached to the bottom. Mom nudged me to open it, and when I pulled the plug, 2 crisp dollar bills fluttered onto my jeans. Dad declared it seed money for my future, brushing off the moment as Chloe giggled beside me, acting as though she were doing me a favor by offering rides in her new car. The silence that followed stretched painfully, and Mom rushed to justify the extravagance, insisting Chloe needed a luxury car for her design clients. Chloe's perfume filled the air as she patted my knee and commented on how exhausted my old Honda must be, the same Honda that had carried me through snow and mountain passes the day before. The only dependable thing in this family remained the car they loved to mock. Suddenly, breathing felt impossible. The realization hit me like a collapsing building. This wasn't a bad Christmas. This was every Christmas, every birthday, every milestone. I had spent months saving to bring them meaningful gifts this year, imagining, foolishly, that perhaps it would finally be enough to be seen. But the ceramic pig in my lap made the truth undeniable. Their love had a hierarchy, and I was never on top. Fighting the burn behind my eyes, I excused myself and shut the bathroom door upstairs. The mirror reflected a calm face, but inside, I was breaking. Heartache wasn't poetic. It was suffocating. It felt like someone was pressing their weight against my chest while my ribs hardened like cement. I stood there silently, waiting for tears that refused to come. That night, from my childhood bedroom, I listened to their laughter echo downstairs as they planned Chloe's road trip. At 2:17 a.m., something inside me broke loose. I packed quickly but deliberately, taking only the things that held real meaning. My grandmother's quilt, my college photos, and the box holding my first professional blueprints. The expensive gifts I'd brought for them remained untouched beneath the tree. The house was silent as I walked down the stairs and placed my key on the kitchen island, the cold metal pressing a final goodbye into my palm. They had made their choice long ago. For the first time, I was making mine. My Honda idled in the driveway as snow fell softly on the Christmas morning I refused to spend with people who couldn't see me. Driving through the dark outskirts of Portland, the radio played Jingle Bells over weak speakers until I shut it off, choosing silence instead. My phone buzzed with a message, not concern, not fear for my safety, but a reminder from Mom to pay the utility bill for the lake cabin Chloe used for Instagram shoots. Even in my absence, they still saw me only as a resource. Memories layered over each other as I drove south. My 5th birthday overshadowed by Chloe's lavish party the year before. My valedictorian speech ignored because of her tennis match. My college years spent working and stretching loans while they funded Chloe's self-discovery trips. Every memory clicked into place, revealing a pattern I had spent decades trying not to acknowledge. When my friend Sarah called, her voice cut through the numbness. She told me to come to San Francisco, to stay with her, to let someone finally help me. Her offer cracked something open inside. Help was a foreign concept to me, a word I'd never been allowed to receive. At dawn, I crossed into California with 18 missed calls from my family and a strange sense of clarity settling over me. Latin may be biology, but love and respect were something entirely different. 3 weeks later, I sat in Sarah's spare bedroom in San Francisco, letting my parents' calls pile into voicemail purgatory. Their tone had shifted from confusion to concern and finally to manipulation. Dad threatened to report my Honda stolen, my car, my name on the title. Mom blamed her blood pressure on my selfishness. I deleted each message without hesitation, slowly learning a new skill: emotional distance. San Francisco felt like a different universe. Warm terracotta walls, filtered fog light, and a friend who offered help without strings attached. I finally clicked send on a transfer request email for the company's SF office. 3 hours later, the approval arrived. Sarah celebrated with tea, reminding me that friendship wasn't transactional. It was steady, simple, and real. Everything my upbringing wasn't. Over the next months, my life reshaped itself. I moved into a tiny apartment that felt like a clean slate. I joined a pottery studio where, for the first time, my hands shaped something without fear of judgment. My coworkers only knew me as the sharp engineer who caught a critical blueprint error on the Bay Bridge retrofit. They didn't know the family narrative, that I was unstable, lost, or ungrateful. Rumors from home filtered in through distant acquaintances. My family had crafted a story where I'd suffered a breakdown, joined a cult, or thrown my life away. Chloe posted cryptic Instagram captions about praying for lost souls. But none of it mattered. Their fiction no longer had power over my reality. I was building something new, piece by piece, boundary by boundary. Then the ivory envelope arrived, an invitation to cousin Jessica's wedding. My name written elegantly like a test. I discussed it with Dr. Vance, my therapist, who gently pointed out that attending didn't have to mean surrendering. It could mean reclaiming control. So I booked a Marriott room instead of staying with family. I wasn't returning as the obedient daughter. They would meet the woman I'd become. At the Vineyard rehearsal dinner, the moment I stepped inside, the room fell silent. My parents stared in shock. Chloe approached first, subdued, almost softer than before. She admitted her BMW had been repossessed and her business struggling. For the first time, her voice held humility rather than entitlement. It was strange to witness, but not unpleasant. Uncle Mike casually revealed that my parents were selling their house after Dad lost his job. Instead of panic, I felt a strange detachment. Compassion, yes, but free of responsibility. When Dad approached, trying to command old loyalty with phrases like, "Family sticks together," I responded with the calmness that startled us both. "Do they?" I asked. "Or do some of us just get used as glue?" The next morning, they staged a family intervention in the hotel library. Mom cried, Dad paced, and Chloe hovered. They blamed me for their stress, financial issues, and emotional strain. But I came prepared. I laid out a photo album comparing Chloe's lavish childhood to my minimal one. Then, bank statements showing decades of unequal support. Their excuses crumbled, their narrative shattered. Finally, I set the plastic piggy bank on the table, the same insulting Christmas gift. I opened it and poured out the $2 bills I'd saved weekly since leaving. "This is what you thought I was worth," I told them. Then I offered a choice: family therapy and boundaries, or losing me forever. Shockingly, Mom agreed. Maybe for the first time, they understood the cost of losing me. 1 year later, my San Francisco apartment brimmed with warmth and chosen family. Friends filled the table for Stray's Christmas, and Liam, steady, kind Liam, stood beside me carving the turkey badly. Chloe video called to share good news. Dad was sober, Mom was volunteering, and they asked about me gently, not demandingly. I ended the call smiling. My past didn't control me anymore. The empty piggy bank on my shelf wasn't a wound now. It was a trophy, a reminder that I had built a home, a life, and a self-worth entirely my own.